up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, fall, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet.
Hey, how we doing, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to your afternoon. Hope everything's going well for everybody. It's 5:04. It's the witching hour. Hopefully you're not stuck in traffic, getting a cold beverage somewhere, not burning up that fuel out there, sitting in a bumper-to-bumper situation. Hopefully you all had a good day. Hopefully you had a better day than I did. I'm not even going to get into it. This one was a fucking nightmare, but it's, you know, it's just about time for me to go out on the dirt bike, go cruise around a little bit out there, see what's going on, see if I can't take a knee on a rattlesnake again. I was out there the other night, right? I found this crazy plateau that I've been searching a lot out at, and it's really a bizarre area. It looks like it's a flat top, but you get up and there's these weird sandstone, like windblown. It's almost like it carved it out. It almost looks like what you would think of as like an old. It kind of looks like that Indiana Jones ancient city where they get the Ark of the Covenant or whatever, and the thing comes out and melts the German guy's face. And I found some really weird places up on the. I guess it'd be the south, just the straight south side. And there's no way that anybody ever got an excavator up there or any kind of heavy equipment, because literally it is straight up. There's one access onto this thing and there's one way down. That's it. I've eaten shit going down it like twice now because it's so steep. So there's no way that, I suppose you could get an excavator up there, but it's not even wide enough. But it looks like I'll have to put some pictures up because it's like, you can see squares that it looks like something has excavated up there. But the only thing I've seen up there are antelope and birds. And then the other day, I'm on the south end, and I've got a great view of Carter Mountain, right? So I've got my my long-range lens on my camera. And of course, I'm being a dumbass because I've got my earbuds in. And typically I just take my goggles off and, because I'm on the bike going from spot to spot. I've been doing a lot of photography out there. So I'm trying to sell stock photography and just, put together some cool photos because it's some really neat spots out there. So I go up to the edge and I take a knee, right? Because my long lens doesn't have stabilization and I don't like carrying a tripod. So I'll usually take a knee and rest one elbow on my knee, and then, kind of stabilize my right arm here, and then just try and hold it as close as I can and not get all shaky. Well, I take a knee and I see something move, and literally I look down, and not 6 inches from my knee is this big ass rattlesnake, and he's coiled up and he's, shaking his, and I just about lost it. I have my headphones in. I'm sitting there jamming, listening to some fucking Metallica or whatever. And I see that movement, and I look down, and I wanted to jump, but he was coiled up. He had his head back. He was looking at me. I think he knew I didn't mean him any harm. I'm saying him like it's a he. I don't know. It was big. So I just kind of slowly stood up, and I just backed away. And he kind of just, put his head down and he slithered off. But I forgot what time of year it was. I guess. I wasn't even thinking about it with the rattlesnakes because we got rattlesnakes everywhere out here. I mean, they're all over the place. And I just wasn't thinking about it. I was just on jackass status. You know, you can just start coasting like that. And next thing you know, you're putting yourself in a stupid ass position. You're like, whoa, fuck, what the fuck am I doing? So that was my excitement a couple days ago. This didn't happen yesterday. It was the day before. But it just, I mean, it was one of those moments where you just realize, like the last time I think I had one of those moments was Jackson and I had come back home from like a birthday dinner. And we get home and this was a couple of 3 years ago, maybe even 4 years ago. But we come in the house and he goes to the back slider and goes, Dad, hey, somebody's yellow lab's out here. Should I let him in and we can find out who? And I look and I see that big tail. And I'm like, no, you know, and guess what? It was a fucking mountain lion. I mean, he was ready to open the door and just let the thing in the house. And I was just like, that would have been, can you imagine that? We have enough problems with our freaking stupid cat. Can you imagine having a mountain lion come flying into your house? I don't even know what do you do then? And when they come into town, they're nuts anyways. They're either starved, they get deranged. That's usually why they do come into town, because they're starved out, they're sick. Because typically a cat like that isn't going to come around people. I mean, I've only seen one in the wild, and it was one of the eeriest things I'd ever seen. That ball that thing let out, that screech, and it was getting dark, and we were way down in this ravine, and it was up on the rocks across the river. But anyway, there's my story for the week. Almost took a knee on a rattlesnake. Jesus Christ. I'd have won up Kaepernick on that one, eh? Some of these are jokes. Anyway, so what do we got going on? We got Davos going on, huh? Isn't that something? All the people that are really concerned about all of this are getting in their big, huge private jets and going off to Switzerland to have their opulent fucking whatever they do over there. But I was watching one of these onion heads, and he's up there and he's talking about, you know, they're talking about innovation and this and that and the other thing. He says, what we have in the works is a carbon footprint tracker. And what it does is it keeps track of where you travel, how you travel, what you eat, you know, what kind of clothing you're buying, you know, the fuel that you use. Basically, it's spying on everything you do. He's like, but the way he words it, I'm going to see if I can find this here. It is absolutely hilarious because the way this dude words this, he says, what we're trying to provide for the consumer, what we're going to provide for the consumer is a way for them to track their carbon. And he says it with this, like, I mean, this voice of like, he's really like they're doing somebody a favor, you know? And it's like, what we've come up with is even a better way to track you. And isn't this awesome? So here we go. We'll pull this up here. And y'all let me know what you think about this, because to me, this seems like some hanky bullshit. Let's see. Let's get him on up there. Let me get some there went that. Let's get some volume here. And here we go. This will be good. You'll like this. This is awesome. This is exactly what we need. And it's so good that these people...
We're developing, through technology, an ability for consumers to measure their own carbon footprint. What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Where are they traveling? How are they traveling?
Know what it means?
What are they eating? What are they consuming on the platform?
I don't know.
So, individual carbon footprint tracker.
What are they consuming on the platform? Is the platform... Is that Earth? Is that life? What is the platform? Is he talking about the platform is in the tracker? Is it going to be injected in your head? Is it going to be a chip? What's the deal? Is it going to be in a vaccine? Is it going to be in a... What are we doing here? What's going on there, fella? Look at that look on his face. I think he's drunk. Anyway, here we go. We'll go back to this here, the rest of it out.
Stay tuned. We don't have it operational yet, but this is something that we're working on.
No, there it went. Sorry, I'm getting text messages here. Yeah. Anyway, that's real interesting, huh? So you got these people that there's 26 of them, okay, and you got 21 men, 5 women, and they've all probably overdone their carbon footprint for, for the week with their little travel over there. Just like, when John Kerry has to go somewhere or whatever, and he's on his private jet, and then he justifies it by, well, I'm so important with my horse face that I have to fly on a private jet because I'm just important enough that I got to be everywhere and I'm important. And you're like, what? No, you're not. It's like you're a skivy lion politician piece of garbage, dude. It's like, fuck you. Take Greyhound. He doesn't need to be going overseas for anything. There's no reason for John Kerry to be using our money to go overseas. We don't need John Kerry to go anywhere. John Kerry can go, I don't know. There's a lot of things he can go do. I mean, he can, suck a fart out of my butthole. There's a lot of things he could do, other than whatever it is he's doing flying around on a private jet. We don't need to have him doing that. We don't need to have anybody doing that. There's no reason for anybody in government to fly anywhere. We have Zoom. We have Google Meet. We have any number of strategies to use. I can talk to anybody from anywhere right here from my studio. And I guarantee they've got better stuff than this. The only one that is having a problem with that, though, is George Bush, because he doesn't know when he's getting pranked like he did the other day. And I have to admit, that was hilarious because, quite frankly, I still think that George Bush is he's a war criminal. Him and Dick Cheney. Sorry, not sorry. Rumsfeld, he's dead, but he was a war criminal, McCain was a war criminal. All of them. I don't care what you think. Look at it. Those assholes killed 1 million innocent people in Iraq over WMDs that didn't exist. And then that fucker has the nerve to get up there at that White House Correspondents' Dinner and put out that video where he's like looking up his ass. Connie Rice is sitting there. No WMDs over there. The whole stupid place erupts in laughter. Like it's funny. 1 million people die. Cities destroyed. Cities that went back a hell of a lot further than the United States. Historical cities, beautiful cities like Mosul. That's the one I always go back to because I don't know, for some reason I look at the before and after pictures of that, and it's heartbreaking to think of what happened to all those people there because of us. And now we're sitting here talking about this democracy. We got to send $40 billion to Ukraine. It's just one thing after another with these idiots. If it was just us, think about this, ladies and gentlemen. If it was just us doing our thing, doing what we do, doing what we know how to do we need them? Do we really need, this sloppy idiot moron that he's, he got up there and he talked about regime change in Russia. Then they had to backtrack that. They had to walk it back. White House has to walk it back. He has to walk it back. What I really meant, don't you guys know, you don't understand the English language? Well, no, you just got up there and said that you had to basically remove the leader of, the Russian president from power. So, if that's not regime change, I don't know what that is. I guess I don't understand the English language, Joe, because of the thing. Fucking idiot. And then he says that if China, does anything with Taiwan, that we will respond militarily. Taiwan is not its own. It's not its own country. It hasn't been. It's been kind of one of these deals where it's like, that's kind of a neutral deal, but it still belongs to China. And he gets up there and says, yeah, and so then they got to walk that back. Every time we turn around, this guy is saying something just absolutely, he's just a warmonger. He's a war hawk, just like all the rest of them. All the rest of these assholes that voted for that $40 billion to send over there. And Rand Paul's the only one that'll step up and say no. It's absolute insanity, and we sit here and, everybody just acts like it's just fine. And then they say we got to borrow 40 billion from China. What do you mean borrow 40 billion from China? They're in debt too. Who's not in debt? I mean, I'd have to look that up. What countries aren't in debt? Debt is how the whole damn thing runs. And if you try to get out of debt and you try to do your own thing, then guess what? You ended up Gaddafi-ing yourself. Dying in the street with a sword up your ass. And then, Libya was one of the most technologically advanced, probably the most technologically advanced countries in Africa. And Gaddafi also had basically in like their constitution, they had the equivalent of the Second Amendment. He encouraged citizens to be armed and trained and know how to use a firearm. And I know that's a big hot button right now with the shit that's going on here. That fucking shit that went on in Texas. And it's crazy because you're not hearing much about it right now, but I'm not marginalizing any deaths of any people that were fucking shot in mass shootings, okay? But it's kind of crazy how you have an 18-year-old Hispanic American going to a school, kills 19 basically fourth graders. I think there might have been some second, third, fourth, maybe, but it sounded like predominantly fourth graders, 2 teachers. Thankfully, there was a Border Patrol agent that happened to be going by there. He went in and took him out. So everybody that wants to talk bad about Border Patrol and all this, that dude, that's not his job description. From what I understand, and I don't know for sure how it all played out because every single news station has a different story. I think that incident was handled by, maybe it was just because it was a small town, but I mean, there's parents sitting out there. There's 19, it started out at like 14 and then it goes up to 16. And you've got parents that are sitting outside. Okay, the gunman's dead. All right, he's laid out, he's dead. There's nobody else they're concerned with. This kid, he'd sent out pictures of these guns on social media. He'd sent out a text message to some girl. I don't know if it was an ex-girl or what. I don't know. Maybe we went through a breakup. I don't know. This kid, I wouldn't be surprised to find out that this kid is on psychotropic medication because 9 times out of 10, it seems like these idiots that do this, they're medicated up. And, that's a whole nother, that's a whole nother can of worms. It's a whole nother, jug of paint. But I wouldn't be surprised to find out that this kid wasn't on some kind of medication because he shot his grandmother. One story was that the grandmother died. The other story was that she was going to survive. I believe 2 officers were hit that are going to survive. I haven't seen any updates today yet because I've been busy handling a bunch of bullshit that came up, which I'm just not even deal with that. But regardless, you got an 18-year-old kid. Of course, the first thing they say is that he had a rifle. And then, the first news report I see is that they're AR style. What they don't even know, these people in the news, they don't even know that AR stands for Armalite and not assault rifle. So anybody out there that is watching this, just understand that. Okay, AR does not stand for assault rifle. That is it's a semi-automatic, little bit more than a fucking 22. Okay? And then the next thing I heard was that he went in with a handgun. Now, they said that they had a picture of 2 ARs sitting on the ground and said that those were the 2 firearms that he had bought within the last couple of weeks or whatever. Do you believe it? I don't know. I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it isn't. I don't know. I wasn't there. There's multiple stories. Regardless, there's 19 dead kids, 2 dead teachers that were, the one woman I saw, had been a teacher for 17 years, mother, just a really, a good person. I mean, and you saw the superintendent of schools. I mean, he was obviously shaken up. I mean, it kind of it shook me up to watch that. I mean, that's, and then you've got all these political fucking assholes. They're politicizing it, instead of, why do we want to hear from them? Why do we want to hear from anybody I don't want to hear from anybody. I don't even like hearing this news, and then just sit there and just cover it just nonstop. You know, and here I am talking about it. But this is my take on the whole, at the end of the thing. I mean, it's just a really tragic. Anytime this shit happens, it's very tragic and it's horrible and it sucks and it needs to stop. But it gets, you know, these people that pull this shit, you know, I think that they're just at the end of their road and they think that this is how I'm going to go out and I'm going to get canonized, you know, in American history. Like that onion head in Sandy Hook, and you know, I mean, every one of these things, you know. But the crazy thing is that the one that happened in Buffalo, and I'm here. Here's the thing: I condemn both of those actions. I'm not saying that one is any different than the other. These are vile acts by sick people. But the one kid in Buffalo. Now, he had 106 page manifesto that they won't release. Okay? So they're telling you on the news that he was a white supremacist. He put out this manifesto, blah, 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 blah. Where's the manifesto? I would like to see it. They're telling us that it's there, but I haven't seen it. I've not seen it. The kid was sick. He said some shit about, you know, he'd already had a psych eval. And yet he still was able to purchase a firearm. Now, if you're making, you know, murder threats, murderous comments, and you're basically an adolescent teenage boy, then I don't think that you should probably be wandering around with firearms. Now, did the parents know about all this stuff? I would imagine so, because he had to go have a psych eval, or did they do it at the school? And this is where, like, the law in Florida that they put in, that they called don't say gay. That was a bill to inform parents of what was going on with their kids psychologically, mentally, anything that they were dealing with. That was what that was about. There was 2 sentences in there that even mentioned anything down the lines of you know, sexual orientation or gender identity. And all it said was, when we've been over this, it said K through 3 should not be inundated with that. That's all it said. It didn't say, don't say nothing like, so anyway, the majority of that 7-page bill, not that long, I asked everybody to read it. I don't know if anybody read it or not. I read it a number of times over. Never said gay, never said don't say. It just said that these things should not be taught to kids that are kindergarten through 3rd grade. If you disagree with that, I don't know what to tell you. Those kids should be learning how to count. They should be singing songs, learning their alphabet, running around playing on the playground. Going to gym, you know, just being, they don't understand that shit. Even in 4th, 5th, I mean, kids don't, I mean, come on. You know, it's just, how crazy. You know, and I mean, I sounded off on, well, I didn't sound off, but I responded to a female that had gotten beat in a you know, a Red Bull skateboard competition, and a bunch of people come at me on that, saying I had my MAGA hat on, and this, and like, okay, I've never had a MAGA hat on. I've never worn a MAGA hat. I've never even really said that phrase before. I mean, have any of you ever heard me say the whole MAGA? I don't believe I've ever said that. I think the only thing that I have said is that, in my personal opinion, we would be a lot better off right now if we had Orange Man Bad in office instead of geriatric mushhead and that idiot. I don't know what the hell's wrong with Kamala Harris. She good God. I mean, she's about as stupid as a piece of shoe leather. I mean, I've never heard such idiotic babbling between the two of them. I mean, I don't even know if they can belt out a nursery rhyme together or do patty cake. I mean, it is unbearable. Like when I see Biden on TV or her, I can't watch it. I have to turn it, because the things that come out of those people's mouths are just ridiculous. And that mushy mouth Biden, what is wrong with him? I mean, I was looking at pictures of him from 2016. Okay, it wasn't that long ago. He looks like a completely different character. Completely different. I mean, he looks like like I said, he looks like somebody took a claw, like from one of those machines where you drop it down and get the stuff down. Looks like somebody dropped one of those on his head and pulled the skin back and then stapled it on and then took like the fuzz off of like a white polar bear stuffed animal or whatever and just stapled that on his head. I mean, his forehead, holy crap. I don't know, maybe you saw one of the memes I put on pre-show. I'll play it at the end too. I thought it was funny. I get a kick out of myself. I don't care if anybody else does or not, but I like putting those things together. Maybe I'll start putting those out on the interwebs. I guess it is on the interwebs. And we got, what else we got going on? We got monkeypox. Monkeypox. There's another new thing to worry about. Who's heard of monkeypox? Anybody? I mean, maybe it's a thing. I mean, I know I guess it's a thing. I've never heard of monkeypox. Of course, until I looked into it, I'd never heard of cowpox either. I also didn't understand that in order to, rudimentary vaccinations for smallpox back in the day meant taking a pussy gooter that somebody was infected with cowpox with, and then taking a person that didn't, and they would scratch it into their skin. There's your science for you, folks. It wasn't that long ago that they were doing things like that. They were bleeding people. They were throwing leeches on people. That was science, people. But you can't question Tony's science, especially when he makes every wrong decision, every wrong call. When the only misinformation that's been put out there has come from, guess who? Governmental organizations. I mean, how much information was put out there that people lost their minds on it and it turned out to be true? Just saying. Sorry, not sorry. I'm not saying what it is or what it isn't. But you all know. You all went through this shit. Y'all saw it. Y'all sat here and listened to this shit for 2.5 years, and now we got the monkeypox. And apparently they got it, on the East Coast. They said there was a case that showed up in Washington, a case in South Carolina. Now we got this up, It's just always something. It's always something. And then we've got these news organizations that just wind us up, they're like, just pulling our strings right on the back like puppets, Just watch them go. Everybody gets terrified way about this. It's going to be monkeypox this, monkeypox that. And it's all, it's an illusion and it's a distraction from what's really going on. We've just got $40 billion. Zelensky says he wants to sit down and talk peace with Russia, but then he says, we're not talking, no, not until you retreat completely out of the country to where you were before. I've been in this position. You might want to just sit down and go to the table. Because there's people, and it's just like, I don't know who's pulling his strings. I mean, I don't know, you all do too. I mean, you can tell, listen, the first day of the thing, the Ghost of Kyiv, the video game, it actually came out of a simulator. Dudes in it, they don't have that such things. And then they show the guy dies, and everybody all of a sudden forgets that they debunked that thing completely. And all of a sudden, the Ghost of Kyiv is a dude again. He's a guy, It's just crazy. Everything from all this been propaganda, misinformation, garbage. Have you seen the howitzers that we gave them? These dudes out there with howitzers. I'm talking World War II style howitzers. That's what we've given them. If you ever seen how one of them things work, in the age that we're in right now, the incredible technology we have to blow each other up. You can't be spending that much time trying to get one of those things ready to blast off around, and then who knows where it's going. I'm surprised there hasn't been someone blow up in those dudes' faces. You got the neo-Nazis
And they yank those guys out of the steel mill. Everybody acts like they're not real Nazis, even though they act like they're there. They got Nazi tattoos all over them. I mean, that's their deal. So it's because of like heroes, and then, they had, civilians in there, but they were holding up in front of them as human shields and shit like that. And then they tried to play it off like these people were just like, down there just, being protected, hiding out. In a steel plant that goes down like 10 stories. It's not a mine. Why is a steel plant 10 stories deep? Anybody ever heard of that? Anybody out there steel worker? Anybody out there ever work at a steel mill or a steel plant that's been 10 stories below ground? And if you listen to the fake phone call, when George Bush was talking to those guys from Russia, and they brought up the labs, and he sat there and nodded and agreed and said, oh yeah, you're very smart. He had no idea that he was being buffeted. Those guys, they can get up on a lot of shit. Especially about him saying it in Russian and then transferring it, just translating it, in the captions. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they're talking about that, that was something that they came out and talked about earlier, was the labs, and, oh yeah, we made sure, I mean, you guys listened to it, I played it the other day on the podcast, you guys heard it. You can look it up, it's all over the place on YouTube and shit, but, yeah, so anyway, we've got that, we've got Davos, we've got the supply chain thing, we're gonna be in a lot of trouble with, as far as truckers go, 8 out of 10 dock workers are getting ready to quit. So here's what's happening with that. If anybody's ordered anything that's coming from China, it takes forever. And what's going on there is, obviously they're not getting the production that they did get in China because they've done like full-on lockdowns. People are jumping out of windows. There's footage of people swimming out with these weird plastic ladders from like 5-6 stories up. You can hear it, mate. People are just screaming and yelling. They're locked in apartments with no food or water. I mean, it's just terrible. And so that's shut that down. So when they do get a container ship ready to go, and it comes across the ocean, which takes, 20 or 30 days, and it sits out there and it bobs around in the Long Beach Harbor, Los Angeles Harbor, Long Beach, there's tons of them out there. I mean, a ship that typically would take 3 to 4 days to be unloaded and sent back out is now taking, it's taking up to, I'd say about 2 weeks. There's no space anywhere. It's stacking these containers higher than they ever have, so it's making it more difficult to get to the containers because they have to open them and they have to see what's in them and what's going on. So you have to have staff. You have to have people. You have to have workers to make this happen, and some of the people have just quit. It's a unionized job, and those union workers, they don't put up with any bullshit on it. They just walk away, and they're already short, and they're looking at getting shorter. Okay, so there's your first step, alright? So you've got these boats that are just flopping and flipping around out there. I mean, there's some of them that are just abandoned. They just left them. You're out there and you're sitting anchored offshore, and you got a whole crew of people that you run out of food, and then, people are like, fuck this. Off they go. So you got some of these ships that are just sitting there, just floating. Who knows what's in the containers? How are you gonna get them in? So when they finally do get a ship in, right, so it used to be a 2, 3, 4 day turnaround, 4 days for some of the big huge ones like we used to see. Now it's 2 weeks. But there's no place the problem is there's no place to stock these containers. And they don't have any truck drivers, they don't have anybody working for the railroads. The fuel cost is gone so crazy through the roof that the truck drivers are having to eat that extra cost. They're already pinched, alright? And shout out to you guys out there on the trucks, okay? You guys got a good, trust me out there. If you know a trucker, give them some love, okay? Anybody back out there, you know, on the road, in the truck right now, doing the thing, and much love to you, you know, because you're the ones that are keeping anything going in this country. So they're having to eat the extra cost. They get to, you know, the fulfillment center, wherever they're making the delivery. There's nobody there. They don't have staff there. So they're sitting there wasting their time. And the trucker can only go, they have to take a 10-hour break every day. So a good wage for a trucker is 70 cents an hour right now. That's a good money. Okay, but think about it. You know, how far can you go in 14 hours at 65 miles an hour? So we do some math. Who wants to go to math class? Okay, so this is a person that's working that long. Okay? So they can't spend most of their, and a lot of times they gotta stop and they gotta wait. And so they're sitting there waiting 1, 2, 3, 4 hours to get the truck unloaded and not getting paid. So let's say that the guy does actually drive 14 hours. Anybody ever drive 14 hours in a day? I've done it a number of times and it sucks. And I can't imagine doing it day after day after day after day. One day and I'm just like, oh jeez. So 14 at 65. That's 910 if a guy's getting 70 cents. But he's not going to drive. That's $637 a day. That's not very good money. Especially with the inflation rates and everything. And to be out there doing that day in, day out, week on end, weeks on end, away from your family. You know, I mean, I can only imagine the shit that some of these people go back home to, not being around, you know, trying to make a living, trying to make money, and, you know, there's nothing worse than that. When you bust your ass as many hours as you can, then you come home to a wife that's bitching and screaming at you because you're not around and launched everything on the planet and you want to pay for it all. That shit sucks. You know, it'd be nice to not come home and like just, you know, be able to sit down and just relax. You know, a lot of times, I know this for a fact. I can tell you first, you dread going back home. You dread going home because you don't know what the hell you're going to be walking into. You've already had enough, you've had a bad day, you know, especially when you're running a business, and then you gotta come home and deal with that shit. I mean, when all you've done is just, you know, bust your ass all day, you know, the hell with that, man. So, those people are going through hell. You know, there's some of them that still doing alright. Then they got these people, you know, the way the trucking industry works is these guys, they call it a load, obviously, and they've got brokers, and so they get out there, they've got websites that they can go to pick up loads, so they come up with an agreement, they go to pick up the load, and the deal is, okay, you've got X amount of time to get from this point to that point. And what these guys are doing, they've got these brokers that are like out of the country. I don't know where they're at, but they're brokering these loads for guys. And I was listening to a fellow yesterday, and this is a guy that is from South Central Los Angeles. He was law enforcement. He decided to go into trucking because he figured it safer, it was making more money, doing really well at it. And he was talking about he picked up an Amazon load, which is something that it sounded like he doesn't typically do, but, you know, he negotiated a price he thought was okay, and he had to go all the way to Georgia. He's done it a million times, and so there's a stop in Dallas for the Lowe's, where there stops, and he pulls over there, you know, gets in a sleeper, falls asleep, and hears a rap on the door, and it's a Russian guy in a tracksuit telling him that he's there to take his trailer. He's got to reclaim it. And the dude's like, hang on. And so when these guys call into Amazon, they have to call him with a message, because obviously he's going to answer the phone with Amazon. I mean, so he calls in, leaves a message, says he gets a call back from, you know, the lady, and she asks what's going on. He tells her, he's way ahead of schedule. She said, you need to call the police. And he's like, and she has this big spin. So what these guys are doing is they're brokering these roads with American truck drivers, but they're overseas. And so what they do is they turn around to their henchmen or whatever, and they give them a trailer number. I'm fairly certain that there's GPS on all of it you can follow them with, and they send these guys out and say, go reclaim this. So they're basically doing piracy on the road, and like this guy was saying, is like, if I was a youngster that was just coming up, I don't know, maybe I would have thought that I needed to turn over my road to him, you know? And then I saw another guy who lost his whole truck and trailer. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, there's semi trucks that I like to think about that. Usually $100,000. Not to mention your cargo and trailer on back, and then what it does to your rating. So that's what our truckers are going through right now, is shit like this. And that's why you're not getting what you're ordering. That's why the stores don't have, the goods. And it's gonna get worse. And more, these guys are gonna quit. You know? I mean, I'm trying to remember what the number was in 2008. It's like 120,000 trucks, something like that, if I'm thinking about it, that were, just done. That's what's gonna happen here. If we don't have trucks, we don't have shit. We don't have anything in the stores. You don't go to Walmart to get anything. And if you do, if you get flooded at that point in time, you're not getting much. And here's the thing, even for the people that have the money, it's not even going to be about that. It's going to be the fact that there's nothing there. I mean, this jackass administration, these morons that took over this whole goddamn thing, they completely decimated this country with their policy. I don't care. I don't like any of them. I don't like Republicans. I don't like Democrats. But these morons, I mean, who are the people out there that approve of this clown? That's what I want to know. They keep saying, oh, it's got a 32% approval rating. Who are the 32%? That means 1 in 3. I haven't talked to anybody on a daily basis ever that thinks that this guy is doing a good job. If you think so, stand off. Tell me how I'm wrong. We've got inflation that we haven't had in over 40 years. Highest fuel prices ever. Now we're looking at shortages. That's the other thing that comes in with the truckers. Is we've got diesel shortages already on the East Coast. The other day we had 18 million barrels of diesel. Now the reason that we had strategic reserves was for the strategic reserves. Not for Onion Head to just go and release it to drop the price of fuel 2 cents for 3 days and then sit there and grandstand about it like he's some kind of fucking genius because he took the fucking shit that Trump had fucking, put in the reserves, saving it for a quote-unquote rainy day, what have you, strategic reserves. It wasn't must-have reserves for some moron that's gonna, that Keystone Pipeline would be done by now. That's 900,000 barrels a day coming in every day. A lot of the producing leases shut down. The grandstands and gaslights and gets up there and talks about how there's 9,000 leases still available. So stupid. Try and blame somebody for not going out and digging in the dirt and they don't even know what the hell's under it. Like you're gonna take all that, all your hands, all your equipment, everything, and go out and just blindly just start growing. It's not how it works. I'm from oil country, people. My father worked in the oil fields for almost 35 years. I did one stint out there. That was enough for me. I don't know how my pops did it for that long, because I would have gone fucking nuts. One stint out there wasn't enough. They need the hell out of here. But that's off point. We're headed towards a bad deal. I've heard stories of a lot of these companies that they make the freeze-dried survivor foods. Freeze-dried, it's kind of like, ammonia or whatever. Food that'll last for 25 years. they're saying that they're not getting the ingredients that they need to make their food guide kits, their rations. And they're selling differently. Every different outfit, they've got obviously different packages and that, but they said they're not able to get what they need to do this, and that's kind of scary. Like when the people that are doing the prepper work can't get, the food for that. We could be headed for some really, we're headed for some rough times. And I've been saying for a long time now, I've been saying June 1st is the date. And it's the 25th of May right now. And there is not a single bit of good news that I see on a date. I try to find it. I try to find it all day. The only good news I can think of right now is that it's going to get so bad that it can only get better. I mean, there's two ways you can go when you hit rock bottom. You can go sideways, or you can crouch down and push your ass off the bottom of that ocean and start swimming back to the top. I mean, that's the only optimistic thing that I can see right now. The rich are going to keep getting richer. They're gonna profit off this. They're going to short stocks. They're going to do what they're going to do. They're going to take advantage of things that are for sale for cheap. Because they can pick them up for the cheap money, and they can sit down and stuff in and wait. They sit down and wait for it to come back. And then make a killing on it. I mean, that's the one thing that always happens, when you got, real economic recession or depression. This is all the Kellogg's variety pack here too, because we're talking, you still got the unicorn going on. Now we got the monkey pox. We've got supply chain shortages. We've had how many goddamn food processing plants have fucking burned up in flames? And they go, yeah, conspiracy theorists are saying that you think about it. Somebody show me in history where that many food processing plants have lit on fire. Two of those airplanes crashing into two. I mean, that's pretty random, isn't it? Allegedly. I'm just saying. There's probably nothing to it. Probably nothing, I'm sure there's nothing to it. It's an act of God. That's what it is. Because, the main thing is that you don't think about it, this stuff. That's the main thing. The main thing is you just don't think about it, okay? You just go stumble around and get your I voted sticker and put it right on your forehead, start around, and, take nothing into account, don't think about a thing. Don't think critically about it, don't look into anything, don't do your homework, Just listen to what they tell you. Because they have your best interest in mind. Look at all the people in Davos right now. You don't think that they have you? Come on. You don't think Klaus Schwab has your best interest in mind? By 2030, you'll have nothing like it. That's what Klaus Schwab said. He's the guy that started this whole fucking thing. How much carbon emission do you think has been, thrown out in the sky from all those people going in there? Don't feel other than that down. They're all on a lifeboat. They're flying in little jets and God knows what else. Who knows what these people are flying in on? And every one of them, they're involved in huge banking. Members that build it, the International Monetary Foundation. You've got, the World Economic, whatever the WEF, you know the thing. It's like I have out of my mind right now. They want you to have a carbon foot tracker. It's because of you. That's what they're going to provide the consumer with that. And, they're talking about all the jobs that are there. They just suck. Nobody wants to work a city cheese job anymore. And who fucking doing anybody? Everybody was so inundated in about 9 to 5 mentality of working a city cheese job and just making enough to get by and making it work that they just did it. They're creatures of habit, so they just do it until it's taken away. people are making more money, getting stimulus checks and unemployment or whatever. I mean, the number is anywhere between, 60 all the way up to 90% of people hate their jobs. Hate them. You love your job. Some of you do, I know. Some of you, we've had a conversation. I'm happy for you. If you love your job, that's great. You're one with you. But it's very much over half. When you're talking 60 to 90%, that to me averages out to be around 77 to 5%. So that's 3 out of 4 people can't stand their jobs. Which is why you get such a wonderful customer service everywhere you go. You know? I mean, it's just, these jobs it's just a pointless way of pleasing society. It's almost like you have to have something to say. You gotta go to dinner party, you gotta go in the office. You been staying busy? I used to hate that. Being busy? Oh, yeah. I'm so busy. I don't know. I was trying to keep up with it. It's so much. It's like that. Goddamn busy. How about you? You been busy? Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Then you just stand. Just guarding nothing and you just kind of, and then you see these guys running around town and just jerking around and Mr. Bob Busy. Yeah, I mean, these jobs that people realize that what they're doing is they're trading their time for money. If you're trading your time for money for something that you can't stand doing, there's nothing more miserable than that. There's nothing more miserable than that. If you sit there, especially if it's a mundane job, and you just go, just cause I just gotta get out of here. You know? About the last half hour of the day, people start getting a smile on their face, they know the day's over. You go, you're not back a couple kind of pills, cause the day is so, God forbid you stay out too late, and then you gotta wake up the next morning and go do it again, and then it's got, what the hell am I doing? Why am I doing this? But you're locked in at that point, you're locked in, that's what pays you rent, that's what pays you bills, you gotta do it, you gotta pay them bills. You gotta pay you gotta pay the bank. You gotta pay the bank. With that made up money. Especially if you're renting, so that your landlord didn't take out a loan for the place that you're renting. Put down whatever the down payment was, whatever the hell, If they took that, they took that money, they put 10% of it off to the side, they take the rest, and then they run it to the next guy, but then they don't put it on the books that they rented out, they put it on the books that it's still there. And they keep going with that. Fractional reserve banking, folks, it runs on debt. Without debt, we have no money. And so this is going to run its course. It is going to run its course. It is going to run its course. I repeat over and over and over again, people. I'm going to keep saying it. And when it happens, what have I been wrong about? What have I been wrong about? I'm not sitting here saying that I'm some kind of suicide prognosticator, wizard, fucking, what have you, but, I mean, I've been looking at this stuff for a long time, and I've been saying this is exactly what's going to happen. And then, you got 93% of money is digital. 93%. How's that look? Everybody says, oh, they're putting, in the stimulus packages or whatever, the COVID packages, they're putting money. No, they're not. They're not putting money. They're taking there's a guy sitting there on a keyboard, and he hits the buttons, and he shoots it off to Wall Street, and they divide it up. And then you think about that amount of money, where'd the rest of it go? Where's the fucking money go? If you do the math on the stimulus checks that are passed out to other people, and then you look at what was left over, and there's no accountability. There's no accountability for it. It's just gone. Where do you think it went? Where do you think this 40 billion is gone? We've already talked about this. 20 right off the top is going to the Department of Defense. Off the top. And it doesn't even mean anything. That's the thing that drives me nuts. Is this money, it doesn't mean anything, folks. Between you, me, and the booze, we could do whatever we needed to do to just keep doing what we do. We know how to do it. We know how to make this place run. We've been doing it forever. But why are we so timid and scared? Why do we keep voting for these idiots? I wish I had the answer, folks. I do have the answer, but no one wants to hear it. was reading a quote earlier today about Voltaire, and I haven't read Voltaire since I was like in college. And the quote is, those who can make you believe absurdities can make you commit atrocities. I'm going to leave you with that thought. Those who can make you believe absurdities can make you commit atrocities. Think about that. Think about it. Man, that's some heavy shit right there. I'm gonna let you know right now, okay? If you're listening. And I'm gonna sign off. I'm gonna go ride my dirt bike and get some fresh air. Because today is a perfect good penny show. The goats for my taste. I don't like it all. Not even much between the goats and pennies. The goats are awesome. Anyway. Be good at it. You know, things be kind. You do no harm. From the night fives. I'm your host, 95, 52 miles east of Jellystone Park in Coyote Land, and I'm signing off, and I'm getting out there. You know, have a good night. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the acting. They know that we're calling them wrong. You got me out of love. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the acting. They know that we're calling them wrong. It's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt to form, survive and save it. Fire keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah.